The next 7 characteristics of a transformational leader that define the actions and also define the reasoning behind the way that they interact with their constituents come from Ekval. And in 1999 he put together these 7 specific traits, if you will, that define transformational leadership to help. And I think that these will also help to clarify any other issues or any other ideas and put together what transformational leadership is about. The first one is that transformational leaders are open to change. They are not set in their ways, but they come to their meetings, rehearsals, with concrete ideas that they are willing to take criticisms and to construct a new way of putting and implementing them so that 100% of the constituents can be in agreement with what they are doing. In a choral rehearsal, this could be given. This can be done with giving the ensemble an opportunity to create the sound of a specific section of the music, or create and define the mood of a specific section or piece. For example, if you are performing a piece by a composer that is specifically about love and the journey that it is, you can ask the choir to think of a few adjectives that can help to describe what feeling they want to portray during this song, and ask them to write them down. And then also, at the same time, you, the leader, writes a few down, and then you share, and you come to agreement on a 2 or 3 that you and the entire choir agree should be the theme. The second one is that they involve the followers in problem solving. Transformational leaders pose problems inside of their rehearsals and their meetings to create a change in perception, and also they attempt to get students, followers, constituents to solve their own problems, and also to pose problems to the decisions that followers make. And in that, it could be the decision to stop a section of rehearsal and say, basses, why did you crescendo at the end of that note? What kind of intent did you want to have there? Or, for what reason do you think these notes are short? Why do you think the composer picked specifically to put staccatos over this note? With that, we move to number 3. They respond positively to new ideas. When you realize that when a transformational leader realizes that leadership isn't a one-way street, they need to respond positively to the new ideas that they ask for from their constituents. When a new idea is brought forth or an opinion is expressed, transformational leaders take those seriously and synthesize them and evaluate the words and the feelings and emotions of constituents very seriously. And then, when we move forward, besides that, they are supportive of new ideas. This 4th idea is that we, the leaders, are supportive of creating an environment where our students, constituents, can express themselves, and we encourage the expression, and we encourage students to create new ideas and create different ways of creating sound, and we encourage our students to push boundaries and try to connect with music on a different level. The 5th is that we encourage students to debate, and we encourage them to entertain different perspectives. And by entertain different perspectives, I mean we ask our students to accept the other perspectives of the people who are in their groups. And the same goes for the transformational leader. And by also with entertaining the new perspectives, which means that they put them into use. they try to take the opinion of every person in the ensemble very seriously, and with that comes implementing the ideas that they have and implementing them in a way that each individual is proud of what they bring to the table. Not always going to your same few star pupils in your group or in your ensemble for answers and implementing their ideas, but ensuring that each member understands that they have a voice and that their voice is being heard and that their ideas are being used. The sixth trait is that they allow freedom of autonomy and are not controlling. Autonomy is a very important part of transformational leadership and also of CPME. With autonomy, we ask our students to be able to think on their own and solve problems on their own and learn on their own and question what they're learning all at the same time. And it's a very effective tool to have and a great ability to attain. Once you are able to synthesize data on your own and pose critical questions of the content that you are learning, you have a better ability of understanding what you are learning, and you are able to question it in a way that tries to move forward from what you are learning in such a way that you try to find as much information as possible and be able to translate it into terms that are more comfortable for you to understand. Transformational leaders ask that their students, their constituents, be able to solve their own problems without the direction of the leader, but also have the ability to solve the problems for the group and come up with ideas to help others solve problems. In the rehearsal, this is a fantastic way of being able to, having students who are autonomous is a great tool and a great gift to have, because with that, the students are able to understand music and understand where they create mistakes and understand how to fix those mistakes. Mistakes that are not just very things that are common that happen, things such as incorrect notes and incorrect rhythms, but tuning, phrase structure, the intention of a passage, the important voices that are coming out in contrapuntal passages. Students are always able to know when they should bring out a note or pull back on a note or add a little different color to a note, and that they make these choices because of the knowledge that they have and the understanding of the music that they have, and also they make these choices because they have strong opinions about what they are doing. And this is very important when we try to enact leadership in the classroom and get students to take ownership of the music that they're making and they're learning in the classroom, because they try to when students are trying to perform music, they're able to construct new ways of putting together the ensemble without the help of the conductor. Instead of just simply waiting for the conductor to tell them what the phrasing should be, they take a risk and try to create the phrasing on their own. And sometimes they're going to be correct, and sometimes, and correct, I mean they're going to match what the leader or director's intent was, but sometimes they're going to point out a new direction that the director didn't see before, and they give an opportunity for the director to hear the music in a new way instead of just the way that they have marked on their score. Lastly, they encourage risk-taking and accept failure, which is something that I led us to right here, is that transformational leaders always try to take risks in pushing forward the achievement of an ensemble, and are always trying to get the best potential out of their ensembles, and they expect their members of their ensembles to take risks also. And when you allow them to, or when you encourage them to take risks, you can get the ensembles to perform music in a way that is different. They can be more human when they're performing instead of very mechanical. When you try to take a risk and remove yourself from the standpoint of an academic musician, is what I like to call it, and move yourself toward a more authentic musician, you leave a space for yourself to be fully immersed in the sound that you were creating and fully immersed in the text. And with accepting failure, transformational leaders realize that not every aspect of their philosophy is going to be accepted. Not every aspect of their style is going to be accepted. And also, not every instant, and not in every instant, they will not always have a perfect performance. And when we move away from having a paper perfect performance and move towards trying to create performances that are authentic and have meaning for each member of the ensemble, we can create a truly perfect performance.